16, we had a lot of great games. A lot of teams won, a lot of teams lost. For the teams that won, thumbs up, well earned, pat on the back. But for the teams that lost, well, we got something for you.
Even though you lost, Baltimore Ravens, you're also out of the playoffs, and the AFC is happier for that.
Chicago Bears, even though you lost, what a surprise. You're going to get a pretty good draft pick, so you can take a punter again.
New Jersey Jets, even though you lost, and you got spanked. You're showing very little pride out there on that field. But your coach is solid, he's getting another go. Bowles is steady, and you got some consistency there. Better than luck next year.
New York Giants, even though you lost, the last time you linked into the playoffs, you hoisted the Lombardi Trophy.
Oh, Detroit, even though you lost, you're back. You're legit. Way to go, D-Town.
Cincinnati Bengals, even though you lost, got to get those uniforms changed or you will continue to lose. I'm sorry.
What he said.
Buffalo Bills, even though you lost, the brothers Ryan are out. Good job.
Dude,
Russ Taylor, you're looking good. You're looking good.
bye, Felicia.
Minnesota Vikings, even though you lost, look, you bet the farm on a rooster that's eyes are set too close together. You're going to be laying eggs for a while.
Well, Indianapolis Colts, even though you lost, I'm starting to think there's a curse on y'all for running out of Baltimore in the middle of the night back in the 80s. So you haven't done anything front office. Where you at?
Should have gamed football.
All right.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though you lost, you were really, really close. Keep it up. Keep up the great attitudes. If it ain't this year, it'll definitely be next year.
Tennessee Titans, even though you lost, sorry about Mariota. That's tough. That's really tough.
Carolina Panthers, even though you lost, look, you can claim you have now the title of going from Super Bowl runner-up to being sorry.
Ooh, that's not good. Hey, in Denver, even though you lost, sources say Tony Romo might be heading to the Mile City.
Mile City. I love it.
Mile High, that is.
I love it. LA Rams, even though you lost, you actually won because you got Fisher out of there. His mullet's gone. And I believe there might have been a Gruden sighting.
Oh.
I believe so.
Los Angeles Chargers, you're on the move.
Whoa.
Even though you lost, McCoy, time to go. Get a new one!
Time to go.
And the Seattle Seahawks, even though you lost, you make losing look so damn good, it's almost like you won.
So
look, Week 16, thanks for being with us. Week 17, we can't wait to see you. But guess who we didn't mention this week? The Cleveland Browns. Cheers to Cleveland!
Even though you won!
Congratulations. Even though you won, Cleveland, you're still Cleveland.
You're still Cleveland.
We'll see you guys later.
All right, Coach Todd Haley, Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator, here to take questions.
Question. I have a question for
What's
you,
your question?
Coach. Whoa.
What's your question?
So,
You got a question?
you're having a great year.
Yeah, I'm having a great year.
Very, very good year.
Very
Defense
good
is
year.
playing well.
Well,
I believe you should be up for a whole lot of head coaching positions.
Should be.
Why aren't you?
I'm not getting phone calls. I don't know why I'm not getting phone calls. Do I look like I know why I'm not getting phone calls?
Did you pay
Do
your
I look
phone
like
bill?
I'm not? I'm getting phone calls. I just don't know why I'm not getting phone calls.
Who are the phone calls coming from?
I'll tell you the
Coach?
phone calls are coming from. All kinds of phone calls are coming. But they're just not coming right now. You know why? Because people don't know who I am. I'm under the radar right now. All these big-time Harbaugh, blah, blah, blah. Look, I took Kansas City when nobody was around and made them a playoff team. Then I roll into Pittsburgh, and I deal with Ben Roethlisberger. You want to deal with Ben Roethlisberger?
No.
You want to deal with Ben Roethlisberger? Ben Roethlisberger is a pain in my ass because he thinks he's calling his own plays. I turned the Pittsburgh Steelers offense into the premier offense in the NFL. I turned the Pittsburgh Steelers into the premier offensive team in the NFL.
Is that maybe why you're not being considered for a whole lot of
I'm not being
positions?
considered. People say I'm a little hot.
It's all about the
You know what
I
hot
with you?
is? I'm hot.
Is it because you say I a lot? Is it
I'm
all
hot,
you?
man.
But
Are you hot? Because I'm hot.
My wife thinks
That's why I lost my job in Kansas City. Because I was too hot. But I'm not hot now.
It's always
I'm cool.
So it's all about you then, Coach.
I'm cool like the other side of the pillow, man. Hey, what's your name? You tell me your name.
Scott Bayless.
Hey, you know what, Scott Bayless? I'll see you next year when I am a head coach. No more questions.
Hey guys, the season is wrapping up. We got hot takes. Now check it out. Defenses. Coach, that's your specialty. Why do these teams keep running these soft zone coverages like Detroit did against Dallas to let Dak Prescott eat him up and look better than I think he is?
Khalil, I guess the way I look at it, the way I'm going to approach why they're playing such a soft defense is those referees are really, really flag heavy this year. And so you don't see a lot of man coverage because once you start man coverage, you're going to get a lot of initial contact within 5 yards, which then leads to more contact,
Hands
down
to
the
face.
field.
Hands to the face. Hands to the
When
face.
that happens, you see a lot of these guys up in the air. And it's not really freeing up the corners and the safeties to actually play that style of football called man defense. And to me, it upsets me because I'm a man, I'm a press man type of defensive coordinator. And with my blitzing style, I'm playing a press man, the quarterback does not have a whole lot of time to get that ball out, right?
Right.
And with that being said, if you're playing man, you got the corner safeties are right up on you anyways. That has to be an absolute perfect throw for it to work. Now you get a perfect throw within 3 seconds with all the protection, making making that read, going through your progressions if you can. Do you think are you going to be successful as a quarterback? Probably not. There's only maybe a couple quarterbacks in the league that can do that.
And there's
Rodgers
only a
maybe
couple of cornerbacks that actually play successful man defense.
Right, and what Josh Norman being one.
Josh
of them.
Norman.
Right.
Look what's happened to Carolina without Josh Norman.
Cromartie.
Peters and Cromartie.
Right. And
Used to
that's
be Darrell
it.
Revis. Used to be.
And you also see them getting a lot of calls up against them.
Yeah.
They really are, and it's because
Gay with Pittsburgh.
the referees are just, I think they're too flag happy.
So what's the deal with? We heard the sources. Hello. Hello. They did too. It's messed up. Okay. We heard that in the first series, Minnesota versus Green Bay, the secondary decided not to follow the game plan and did their own thing. What's up with that?
Going rogue.
Not listening to their coach.
I mean, Mike Zimmer is a defensive coach. He's a defensive-minded coach and one of the best in the game. That had to be a direct jab at the coach.
Direct jab, absolutely, right in the nose. I mean,
Coach, what if that happened on your defense?
Well, let me ask you this really quick before I get into that: is what actually happened when they went rogue and didn't listen to their coach?
An easy touchdown
They
drive.
got sliced.
They
up.
got burned.
So, kids, and especially you little youngsters, you need to listen to the coaching staff and your coaches in particular. That's why the NFL, a lot of us up here, at least myself, the NFL stands for the non-fundamental league. Okay, fundamentals mean you listen to your coach, or you're going to get sliced up by trying to do what you want to do, go against what your coaches have taught you to do. That's going to happen. You will not be successful.
Boys and girls,
ever.
there's a reason why they're the
Ever.
coaches.
Let them coach.
They
Let
were
them
5-0.
coach.
They were 5-0. We were talking about Coach of the Year, all of that, right?
Coach of the year, definitely.
So,
Defense.
is there evidence to suggest that the defense was like trying to compensate for one eye?
Yeah, exactly. They were trying to compensate for the Cyclops.
Right.
We know the deal. They can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
Because Sam Bradford can't see his elbows for his knees
Whoa.
with his really bad peripheral
Hey, but what about this,
vision.
guys?
That's just how it is.
We've had a rogue sighting in Minnesota,
Correct.
and we've also had a offensive coordinator, one of the best in the game, go AWOL
Right.
Correct.
and
Fire
jump ship.
himself.
So Zimmer might not be
Yeah.
the coach that we want him to be.
There's something going on in Minnesota,
Definitely.
and it ain't the fish. All right, so real quick, coaching moves. Rex Ryan's fired. Jeff Fisher's fired. Gus
Bob
Bradley's
Fisher.
fired. Who else is gone? Give me one guy.
McCoy.
John
McCoy.
Fox.
John Fox, McCoy from San Diego, John Fox from Chicago.
Down there in Arizona, Mr.
Arians?
Arian. I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's going to leave the game for health reasons.
I believe so.
But that's a huge vacancy. That could be the job to get because that team is stacked.
And those
Yeah,
GMs
they
love
got
to
no
spend
quarterback
money.
if you ask
Not
me.
yet.
I think Chuck Pagano is getting the can
Chuck
in
Pagano.
Indianapolis.
And that's
Yeah.
a
He is
five.
out of here.
There's a couple more.
What about the Jets?
Couple more.
Todd Bowles. I
Todd
think,
Bowles
I
is
think
staying.
Todd Bowles stays.
Harbaugh. There was talk of Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're going to have some conversations.
What about Chip Kelly?
I think he stays.
Why?
He's already gone.
Give him
Why?
1 year. It was a bad show when he got there. It was a dumpster fire when he got there.
It's not an NFL
He gets a
coach.
slight
reprieve.
Coach says
He doesn't deserve.
Coach says he ain't an NFL
He's
coach.
not.
I'm going to
He
go
isn't.
with that.
He isn't.
He's not an NFL coach.
Pac-10 coach.
He's a straight up Pac-12.
I think he should go to ND and open up their offense myself.
Woo! That's the
We've already
prognostication
had
you
one
heard.
in there.
We are the prognosticators.
Need
You're
another.
here. We'll be back. Latest. Coach Rob Ryan, you just recently got fired from the Buffalo Bills. What's your reaction?
I'm sorry. What's that?
You just got fired? How do you feel about losing your job as defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills? This is the second time in 3 seasons you've been fired.
My brother's a very good coach, and I'm going to get another job.
How do you imagine that you get another job, Coach, seeing that the Buffalo defense didn't really do you well this year, and when you were with the New Orleans Saints, you had a horrible defense as well.
Right. I keep inheriting horrible defenses.
Isn't your job to fix them?
My job. Oh, right. My job as a defensive coordinator is to go where my brother goes.
So what if your brother doesn't get another offer in the NFL?
Maybe I can go work with Fisher.
Coach, Jeff Fisher's currently unemployed as well.
Oh, I can work with Gus Bradley.
He's fired.
He got
too.
fired. I knew that. I knew he got fired. Maybe Sean Payton's going to need another coordinator wherever he goes.
Did it really work well the last time you worked together?
No, it worked terrible. I was a mess out there. I looked like a crazy person.
So what are your plans now that you have a lot of time on your hands?
Plans. There's plans that my brother's come up with. I'll be working somewhere.
Any more comments?
No. Yes. Whoever's hiring, pick up my brother's good. He's better than he looks in his record. Thank you.
Oh, sweet.
Here, ready for questions? Anyone?
Yes. Coach Tomlin, this is Frank Sprankles from the Albuquerque Journal. There were some comments made by Terry Bradshaw. Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, first, I want to say thank you, Terry Bradshaw, for the support. I see that he's hoping that the team really does well. Coaching's a hard profession, and I've been doing it for a while. And, there's a lot of great things that happen. You got consistencies, you have inconsistencies, you even have phlegmopathies and other things of that nature. But Terry Bradshaw has made his opinion clear. Coaching is real hard. Not too many coaches can put the word great on their resume. I like awesome because you were in awe of something, and that's something that I'm trying to put down on my resume in its entirety throughout eternity. And so once again, thank you, Terry Bradshaw, very much for the support. But, your comments are not needed. I felt like it was a little bit personal and stuff, and so he was getting personal. So I figured I might have to go back to my youth, because I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. And Where I'm from, we do things a little bit differently when it comes to cheerleaders. We got to see, how well you can work those pom-poms, Terry Bradshaw. And once again, thank you very much for the support. Any more questions?
Yeah, there was. You said something about one of your favorite Cowboy players being Henderson.
Yeah.
And he said something about Terry Bradshaw back.
Yeah, he had said some things about Terry Bradshaw because Terry Bradshaw does not necessarily have the skills of elocution to be able to pull off a wide range of vocabularic acrobatics. If I will say that, I did go to William and Mary so I can put a couple sentences together. Terry Bradshaw seems to have an absent-minded nature when it comes to grammar and some of the appropriate things that are to be said, or even efficiently how to say them. Yes, one more question.
Yes, could you spell elocution?
Elocution is Elucition. And it is spelled that way because I make sure it is spelled that way. I had called Webster's Dictionary, and they sent me a card that said, "Michael, thank you very much for the support." Next question, no more questions. Prognosticators, week 17, the final regular season week of the season, fellas.
It went so fast.
I just talked to my guy.
Your guy, Betty's on the phone with this guy.
We're
We're giving big picks. But first, let's check the standings. All right, checking the standings.
Let's check the standings.
The standings. All right, it was a rough week for everybody. Mav finishes first place at 8-8. Benny and Coach tied up 7-9. I had a rough one, fellas. I pulled the Jacksonville Jaguars 3-13.
I picked up 8 games.
Time for Khalil
Big
to
time.
check his sources.
I gotta check my sources. I gotta hire new sources. So that gives Mav bragging rights for the week. You have a 2-game lead over Betty for the Prognosticator of the Year. What's the bragging rights this week?
This week's bragging rights is what a grind it's been, guys. This is the holy grail of prognosticating, and Team Mav is going for it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, tasty. We'll see what happens. All right, now moving on to game picks. Moving on to game picks, looking at some of these games. Baltimore, Cincinnati. I think we're all in agreement. Baltimore wins that one.
Clean slate on that.
Clean slate. They pull it off. Houston taking on Tennessee minus Marcus Mariota.
Changes it.
We got a couple. Ben and myself think Houston's going to win.
I still think Tennessee's going to
Yeah,
win.
I think the defense is. I think it's.
And the running game. They rely on their running game. So
Savage is
all they need to do is just
Savage.
hand off.
NFC South matchup, Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who still, through a miracle, have a shot at the playoffs.
Tampa Bay's nasty. They're going to come on strong.
Oh man, there's so many things that have to happen for them to win.
Yeah.
So many different things. Teams have to win and lose and tie and all of that. I don't know.
But there's still.
It's over our heads, but we will analyze it.
They'll fight for it and they're going to win.
All right, so we're all in on Tampa Bay.
All in.
All right, Jacksonville versus Indianapolis Colts. All three of us are taking Indianapolis. Benny's taking Jacksonville. Any reason why?
Going rogue.
Yeah, so I can get up on
He's
that.
desperate.
Oh, he's trying to get that game up. Right there. We'll see what's happening. New England versus Miami. It's in Miami. New England hasn't won in Miami in 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm picking Miami.
I love my fish. I love my fish.
Guys,
He
come
loves
on.
the fish. You see
Bill
him sporting
Belichick
it?
lives for inexperienced quarterbacks. It's like fish in a barrel, baby. Fish in a barrel.
Which
Oh, I
Matt-
don't want you, Miami, but you're not going to do
Matt
it.
Moore is not really inexperienced. He's been
He's
around.
got a really cool
Yeah.
mustache.
We're talking Belichick.
Okay, we're going to
Talking
Belichick over
Miami.
that. Chicago and Minnesota. My 3 colleagues are taking Chicago. I myself am going with lack of peripheral vision, Sam Bradford, to lead them to a win.
Minnesota might be a sensible pick, but the Bears, come on, guys. Barkley, come on.
I think the Bears and Jacksonville look the same. They're coming on strong at the end of the season.
Let's go.
Blah, blah.
Curse is in full effect. Buffalo with their new coach taking on the New York Jets. Mav and I are picking Buffalo. These two guys are picking the Jets.
I don't know
How
the
you
name
feel
of this
about that?
offensive coordinator for the Bills. He got the job in week 3 or 4.
Lynn.
He's been
Yeah.
doing a pretty good job. Now he's got the reins of the whole show. I like them to win.
What do you think, Coach?
I'm still going to take the Jets. I think it's going to be one of them games that it just comes off the spectrum. You know, it just
they're
falls off the
sitting
spectrum.
Taylor. Taylor's on the bench.
And that too.
Look out for E.J. Manuel. We'll see. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Mav and Ben are going with the Cowboys. Coach and I are going with the Eagles. Is there anything more to say about this game besides let's just finally get it over?
No kidding, right?
I'm not gonna watch.
No,
Dallas is a formidable machine right now.
Yeah,
still not that good.
not that good at all.
Yeah.
I don't really agree.
Jason Garrett coaching.
Okay, so we got the Cleveland Browns. Congratulations on your first win. Cheers.
Good job, Browns. Good job.
Taking on the Pittsburgh
Hugh
Steelers.
Jackson.
We're all in agreement. The Steelers win this one running away.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on. New Orleans and Atlanta, we also agree Atlanta's going to win this one running away. Giants versus Washington. We're picking the Giants. Betty's picking Washington.
Again.
Tough one. That was
If
I was on the
Washington,
fence
if
post.
Washington wins, they're in.
They're
if
in.
they lose, they're not. LA versus Arizona.
Thanks, guys.
Arizona
Thank you.
going to LA. We're split half and half.
Yeah.
Look, that game's going to be ugly. Who
And
really
boy,
cares about
Arizona's
it?
dialing it in right now. Browns
Right.
playing great.
They got a tie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Arizona.
Denver, Oakland, no Derek Carr.
Now it's an even game.
It is.
Neither team has a quarterback.
It's a tough
17 to
one to call.
16 ball game.
It's going to be 10-on-10 football with no either team not playing a quarterback. Kansas City, San Diego. Coaches picking San Diego. Any reason why?
I think this will be that game Rivers throws for 6 touchdowns, 500 yards, 0 picks, and actually wins the game.
Against the best secondary in the NFL, coach?
Yes. Yeah, I think they sit a little bit of that secondary, on and off throughout the game.
Okay.
Fresh legs, give them 2 weeks to.
Okay. I see what you're
San
saying.
Diego's playing for their lives today.
Yeah, no.
That
Coach
covers
LA's
that.
calling. McCoy, you're out.
He's out. He's out. San Francisco taking on the Seattle Seahawks. We all agree Seattle's going to whoop that butt. And Green Bay and Detroit. Benny is sticking with Detroit because they're your Motor City darlings.
Sweetheart.
It's a tough
Just
one.
little bit of a sweetheart.
It's going to be a wild game. 40, 50 points on each side.
Ooh,
Tell you
the
what.
over-under is plus
Come
90.
on, Lions.
Run
Come
that
on,
4-3
Lions. Come
against
on,
Aaron
Lions.
Rodgers. He's going
You've
to
got
throw
the heart
for
of a
1,000
lion.
yards.
This is
We'll
going to
see
come
what
down
happens.
to that playoff experience that Green Bay has.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
That's well played.
There you have it. Those are our picks for Week 17. Next week, fellas, the
Finally.
playoffs start.
Finally.
The playoffs. The
It's
finish,
go time,
where
ladies
we
and
get
gentlemen.
into it. Prognosticators. We'll be back.
All right, for everyone that does not recognize me or know who I am, I'm an actual reporter. I'm the one that usually asks the questions to the majority of you guys out there. Today I'm going to let you guys ask me some questions. I want to see what this is all about on this side. I'm Scott Bayless. I'm Skip's son. You just don't know about it yet. And I'm an independent reporter. So,
Hey Scott, this is Todd Haley with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man.
hi
And
Todd, I thought it was going to be next year. Wait till next year.
I
huh?
want to
You
ask you a
understand?
question.
Okay.
Why
Fire away.
aren't you guys asking Mike Tomlin the hard questions? Maybe expose him as being not the best head coach in the AFC, so maybe it can open up a spot for me to get in there.
Wow, I feel a little jealousy and some resentment in your voice, Coach Haley. But the reason why I don't interview Coach Tomlin, he uses all those big words, and frankly, I don't understand them, to be honest with you. Quite frankly, his spellings of his words are way off, and so it throws me off, and so I can't understand the guy. I don't really know who can. I don't even think he can. Next question. Anybody else have? I know you all have questions.
This
for
is
me.
Jeff Fisher from the Los Angeles Rams.
Hi, Jeffrey.
For years, I've been a mediocre coach, and none of you in the press have really pointed that out until after the fact that I got fired. So why did it take you too long to get on the ball?
Have you even actually looked at yourself in the mirror? Are you even camera ready at all at any time of the day? I mean, there's a big reason why we don't interview you at all, is that you're not even camera ready. You got a mullet, party in the back, business in the front, or however y'all say it. You don't speak very well, and by God, you're just an absolutely terrible person to be around from what I understand. So, if that answers your question, it should. If it doesn't, there's a reason why you're not coaching anymore. Next question.
Yes, Scott Bayless. This is Dalton from the Bengals. Who's your hairdresser?
Definitely ain't the same as yours, I'll tell you that. Red-headed stepchild. My question's actually to you, Dalton. What's with those uniforms? There's another reason why we don't interview you or the Bengals. You guys got the ugliest uniforms in America. Y'all say wait till next year. Shoot. Next year's already here. You're already terrible and you continue to be. Next question.
Okay, we got one question.
Okay.
Skip Bayless had tweeted this in.
Oh, boy.
He didn't realize he had an illegitimate son. Can you tell him a little bit about you and his relationship or lack thereof?
Well, the reason why he doesn't know it was that it was a night. Well, see, my mother, Teresa, she had what they like to call down in New Orleans a good time during that Mardi Gras season. And she was going to Tulane University at the time, which is located in New Orleans. Skip just happened to be down there. I guess he was interviewing Matt Forte or somebody like that. And one thing led to another, according to my mother, and that's why I'm around here, and he doesn't know about it. I don't need his money. I don't need his fame. I got my own style, as you can tell. No more questions.